Problem 18-1. Now we're covering chapter 16, but the assignment is from chapter 18, problem 18-1. So we're going to create our three views for this fork. It'll be done in millimeters, and we are going to use millimeter threads to call out this tapped hole here. Okay, so once again we have this fork. So a shaft will slide through the pair of holes that are in line, and we'll use a set screw, so that's a screw with no head, to tighten it. And it'll have metric thread, millimeter thread, and it's to lock the shaft in place. You don't want to use a regular screw with the head, or else you will over tighten and you can damage the shaft. So that's the reason for the set screw with no head. Okay, so for your assignment, you're going to model these three views in AutoCAD using millimeters. So by the time you're done, you're going to have something that looks like this. Okay, so in AutoCAD, you will model the three views with center lines, hidden lines, and dimensions, and your millimeter thread callout. All right, so we're going to start with the side view, and the reason is because it's a lot faster. So I'll do the side view first, and then we'll work my way over to the front view and then the top view. Okay, so let's go over to the side view first. I want you to notice that we have a diameter of 50 millimeters. This is 115. And we have a length of 150 for the shaft, diameter 30. Okay, so let's go ahead and model the side view first. Okay, so let's set up our layers. You can always use an old drawing and just save it with the new part number, problem 18-1. Okay, so let's go to layer properties. Give it a few seconds to load. Okay, and the 0 layer is the default layer, which you cannot delete. So let's go ahead and create our own layers. We're going to go ahead and create the object or visible layer. We'll leave it at white, continuous, and we'll make the line weight 0.60. Okay, let's go ahead and add a center layer. And pick any color you like. I'm going to go with green. Line type. So we don't want continuous, so click on the word continuous. And we don't see center line, so we need to load the library. Okay, let's scroll down. Pick center or any of the other two options here. Okay, so now it loads it into your favorites. Select center and hit OK. And now you have center. And for line weight, let's go with 0.30 or 0.35. Okay, let's go ahead and add our red hidden lines. Click in green, the green box. Go with red. I'll go with the lighter color so we can see it easier on the screen. Okay, line type. We don't want center. See how it defaults to whatever you used last? Okay, let's go to load the library, and we're going to look for hidden or dashed. Let's pick this one. Okay, it'll load it into your favorites. Select it again from here down from your favorites, hit OK, and it'll load it. There it is. And we'll leave it at 0.30 millimeters. And let's throw in a layer for dimensions. If you want to put a layer for construction lines, go for it. Construction lines are optional. Okay, I'll go with cyan for the dimensions. And for line type, we use continuous solid lines. And 0.30 or 0.35 millimeters for a line weight. Okay, so now we can go ahead and exit. Click the X. And let's go ahead and model. Okay, so going back to our drawing, we're going to use a diameter of 50 for the large hole, or I should say the shaft, the boss here, and the hole will be 25. Okay. Okay, so let's go to the correct layer. Let's go to visible layer, circle command. Okay, and we want to type in diameter, so click on the word diameter. It defaults to radius. So we're going to click on the word diameter and type in 50 and enter. Okay, let me double click so it'll do a zoom fit. All right, now let's throw in our hole of 25 millimeters in diameter. Okay, so go to circle command again. Hover over the white circle. See, it's picking the quadrants, and I should be able to now pick the center. If you don't have the center, the green circle popping up for your object snap, go to object snap, right click, and turn on the center option. You don't want all of these on, only the ones with the check mark. Check marks are the ones that are going to be displaying on the screen. The others will not unless you turn them on. If you turn all of them on, it's going to be chaotic when you're creating geometry. Okay, so let's go ahead and pick the center, and we're going to go with diameter of 25. Enter. All right, so now we have this length. So we're going to go from this quadrant. So you want to have quadrants on also. So go to object snap. Make sure you have quadrants on, the 4 quadrants of the circle, which shows up as green diamonds. All right, let me turn on line weight. So you can see there's the line weight. Turn it off, turn it on. If you don't see this icon for line weight, go to the last icon in the status bar, and you can turn on line weight. If there's no check mark, click on it. It'll add the check mark, and it will load the icon onto your status bar. All right, so let's go back to the drawing. Okay, so from this quadrant, we're going to go 115 down, across 50, because that's the diameter, 50. Diameter is 50, so 115, 50, and then close it. Okay, so I'm going to use the line command from the quadrant. I'm going to go down 115. I'm going to turn on ortho. There it is. And I'm going to aim downward and type in 115. Enter. I'm going to aim towards the right, type in 50, that's our diameter, 50. Enter. And then close it off with the diamond and hit escape. Okay, so there we have the fork portion of it. And now we need the shaft. Okay, I'm going to cheat. So here's the shaft. It has a diameter of 30. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to draw a circle right here in the middle of 30 in diameter, millimeters, and then draw my shaft. So I'm going to take the easy way out. So I'll draw a circle here of 30 millimeters in diameter, draw the shaft, and then delete the circle once I'm done. All right, so let's go to circle command again. Go to the midpoint. If you don't see the green triangle, go to object snap, turn on midpoint. Okay, so go to midpoint, and we're going to draw a circle with diameter of 30. That's the size of the shaft. Enter. So this is just a temporary construction element. Then I'm going to draw my shaft off of the quadrants, and then I'll delete the circle. Okay, let's go back. So this has a length of 150. Okay, so 150 for the length. Line command, go to the quadrant, go downward 150, enter. And we know this has a diameter of 30, so aim to the right, type in 30, enter, and close it. Okay, so this is the point and go method. If you're not able to do the point and go method, let me hit escape to exit. Then one thing you may need to turn off is the dynamic mode. So here's dynamic mode. If you don't see this icon, go to the last option, go to dynamic input, and click on it, and it'll show the check mark, and it'll load the icon into your status bar. Some of you prefer the dynamic mode. Those of you that are comfortable with AutoCAD and type in your numbers on the fly, you're welcome to use dynamic input. I'm gonna just leave it off. As you can see, mine is gray, it's turned off. All right, so now I can get rid of the circle. Don't need it, delete it. Hit the delete button on the keyboard or use your pencil eraser. Okay, so we're almost done with this side view. Now here's my origin, 0, 0. So I'm gonna move this side view, I'm gonna move it up here towards the right. Click move, grab any point you want. I'm gonna turn off ortho so I have freedom to go at any angle I want. Okay, so you don't have to move it, but I just want to move it away from the origin, and then I can have my front view here and then top view. All right, so let's go ahead and draw the fork portion of this. Okay, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cheat, and I'm going to copy over some of these items. So I'm going to definitely copy the shaft. So all I need to do is copy the shaft over. And it doesn't matter what distance I use. I'll probably go with 200. So I'm going to make a copy of the shaft, copy, paste it over maybe 200 millimeters. If I need more space for dimensions, I can always change the space between the views. Okay, so I'm going to select the shaft, pre-select it. Then I'm going to use the move command. I'm going to say copy command, copy. Okay, I'm just going to eyeball it. Make sure you have enough room for your dimensions. I'm going to go with ortho. And click. I can click to make more copies, but I'm done. Hit escape. Okay, so from there I'm going to draw the fork. Now I only need to draw half of it. I'll draw half the fork and then I'll mirror it over to the left side, or I can model the one on the left and mirror it over to the right. Let's go back to the dimensions. All right, so let's go ahead and draw a center line first. Forgot to draw the center lines in the side view. I'm going to take advantage of the center line when I do the mirror. So let's go ahead and draw in our center line. So let's go to green center layer. Draw our green center lines. I'm going to track off of this midpoint. Hit escape. I'm going to try and track the center here. Hit escape, draw a vertical green center line. You can stop here or just keep going if you like. All right, so I'm going to go off of this point here, and I need an intersection. So I'm going to temporarily draw a wide visible object line. So go to visible layer. Hit escape. So I want to go off of the center line to draw the fork. So let's go back to the drawing. Okay, so from this center line, as you can see, we have these symmetrical dimensions. By the way, since this indicates symmetry, you don't have to double up on the dimensions. You could have left one side out of your drawing. Okay, so let's go ahead and from this point here, we're going to go 85. So this is 85. I'm going to go 85 across. And then we're going to go up. Now, don't forget we have this in line here that we can track. Okay. And then from here, we're going to go 100 minus 85 is 15. Okay, so once again, we're going to go 85, go up, And then we're going to go across 15, 100 minus 85, and then go up 50. And then we have a thickness of 35. 100 minus 65 is 35. And then we'll come straight down. All right. Okay, so let's use the line command. I'm in the visible layer. And from the center point, of this intersection point, I should say, which happens to also be the center point, I'm going to go 85 to the right. So type in 85, enter. Then I'm going to track off of this quadrant here. See if I can track. Okay, we can track off of that quadrant. Okay, if you want, you can do a little bit of math if you like. If you want to know what this distance is here. Okay, so this is 115 minus the radius of 25, so this is 90. Okay, so from this intersection point to here, it's 90. It's just 115 minus 25, which is the radius, half of the diameter, and that'll give us 90. That's another option. Okay, so we can go up, type in 90, enter, and you can see it lines up with this quadrant. Okay, we're good. And then we're going to go 15, which is 100 minus 85 is 15. So 15 to the right. Enter. And then we're going to go the diameter, which is 50, right? Diameter here. This boss is 50. Enter. And then we're going to go in 100 minus 65. 100 minus 65 is 35. And then we'll go downward. Okay, so 100 minus 65 is 35. Enter. And then go straight down. Now, I don't know how much to go down, so I'll just overshoot. Click, and I'll stop and exit. I'm going to hit escape. Okay, I don't know the length. I could have done some math. I'm going to cheat. Okay, so we have an offset here of 20. Okay, so we have 20. So I'm going to take this line, do an offset of 20. Okay, so take this line. We're going to do an offset of 20. Enter. We can offset downward or upward. Go upward. Okay, so hit escape to exit. So this is a 20 millimeter offset. Okay, so now I can adjust these two here, right? Okay, so I'm going to just, I'm going to leave it alone because we're going to end up doing a fillet here. We're going to do a fillet here. Okay, so let's go ahead and do some rounds, some fillets. Okay, so this here has a fillet of 25. Notice it says 2x, meaning there's two of them. Radius 25 and radius 25, and the inside one is radius 10. Okay, so let's do a radius of 25. Okay, so let's go to fillet radius. Then click on the word radius. Type in 25 in the command line. Enter. And let's select our vertical. Do not pick the corner. Pick the lines. So we have the vertical and the horizontal. There it is. All right. Hit escape. And let's do fillet again. And this time we'll do a radius of 10 for the inside fillet. Radius of 10 millimeters. Enter. Click on the vertical and the horizontal, and there we have it. All right, so we're almost there. Okay, we need a few fillets. Okay, so we have this fillet, we have this one. We need a few fillets here, and as you can see, we have radius or radii of 3 millimeters. All fillets and rounds have a radius of 3 millimeters unless otherwise specified. Okay, so we're going to round off this corner, this one, and we're also going to do this one. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're going to draw a green center line, and we're going to extend this line and do our fillet. All right, so, oh, and we also have a fillet here and fillet here. All right, so let's do fillets again. So fillet, and this time we're going to use a radius of 3. So click on the command line, type in 3 for your radius, enter. Okay, I'll start from the bottom, horizontal to vertical. There it is. Okay, I'm going to zoom in, roll the wheel. And I'm going to hit spacebar to repeat the same command. Vertical, horizontal. There it is. We'll come back and fix this. Okay. And we have a fillet from here. Oh, hit escape. Hit spacebar to repeat the last command. Spacebar, or you can click fillet again. Horizontal, vertical. I'm going to hit spacebar again on the keyboard to repeat the same command. Vertical, horizontal. Spacebar again. Horizontal, vertical. All right. Now this line extends up. Okay, so we're going to do also a fillet for that one. So I'm going to draw a green center line first. Then I'll extend this white object line, extend it, and then do the fillet of 3 millimeters. And I'm also missing this fillet, so I've got to take care of that one too. Okay, let's do this one here first. All right, so let's do a fillet. We're going to do the one in here first. So let's do the vertical, horizontal. There it is. Hit escape. Let me draw our green center line. So go to green center layer, line command, track the midpoint. There it is. Oh, let me do it over again. I think I misclicked. Line command. I can also track the other center line. And hit escape. All right, so now I'm going to draw a white object line, and then I'll do a fillet. So let's go to the visible layer, line command, go to the tangent point. There it is, go up. I overextend it, hit escape, that's okay. We're going to come in now and fillet. Do the fillet from the white visible line to the green center line. Click and hit escape. Okay, now I'm going to take this green center line and extend it. Actually, we can go ahead and extend it way beyond, because it's going to include the other hole also on the other side. There it is. Okay, so let's go back. Make sure I didn't miss anything before I mirror. Okay, I'm missing the red hidden lines. I already have the green center line. And this is closed here. I'll come back and fix this at the end. So we're going to mirror all this over. So starting with this fillet here, we're going to mirror all this over to this side. All right, so let me select. Oh, hit escape, I misclicked. Left mouse click and hold. Oh, hit escape. Double click. Left mouse hold. Select the items. Also going to select the fillet. Select this line and the little fillet at the bottom. Okay, I was having trouble selecting, but I think I got everything. Now we're going to mirror about the green line. All right, so let's go ahead and mirror. And if we miss something, we can always extend or redo it. So let's go to mirror. So we pre-selected our items already. So let's go ahead and mirror. And now as long as we pick 2 lines along this green vertical, it doesn't matter. Okay, so I'm going to pick the end point here. You can pick this end point or any point on this green line. Any point will help us generate our mirror. And click. There it is. Hit escape. Oh, forgot to hit enter. Do it again. Forgot to hit enter. It was asking me if I wanted to keep the originals, which I did. Okay, let's do it again. Mirror. As long as you pick 2 points on the green line, it'll generate the desired mirror image. Click. Okay, do I want to erase the original? No, I don't. The default is no. Just hit enter. Okay, now I can hit escape. All right, so now let's extend this line. Hit escape. Okay, I need to shorten this one. Hit escape. Oh, and I have a sharp corner here, so I'm gonna have to fix this. I can just use the grips. Hit escape. There it is. So it looks like I have 2 lines here. Yep, I do have 2 of them. Only needed 1 of them. Let me delete 1 of them. I forgot I had the line here before I mirrored this one over. So I had 2 lines on top of each other. Just had to delete 1 of them. All right, so now let's go ahead and we can either extend this one, hit escape, or we can just draw 1 long line and get rid of the 3 segments. Either way will work. Okay, so we're almost done with our fork here. Oh, I forgot my red hidden lines. I mentioned it before, but I forgot about them. Let's go back, red hidden lines. So from this quadrant here, I'm having trouble ending my red hidden line, so I'll overextend. I'll come back and fix it. Notice I have ortho on. Okay, so now let's go ahead and fix these red hidden lines with the grips. Hit escape. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and mirror my red hidden lines. Use mirror. So I pre-select the red hidden lines. Use mirror. As long as I pick 2 points on the green center line. Okay, do I want to erase the original? The default is no. I don't want to. Hit enter and then hit escape to exit. All right. Now we are missing a red hidden line here. We're missing the fillet. So let's go back to this one. Let's add our red hidden line. So we do have a red hidden line from this point. Going across, hit escape to exit. And I'll just use the grips to adjust. Okay, there it is. And we need to round off the corners. So let's do some fillets. Let me go over to the visible layer and do some fillets. Okay, hit spacebar. 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 So remember the last radius we used, which was 3 millimeters. Spacebar on the keyboard again. All right, so now we got to fix this area. Okay, fill it again. There it is. Hit escape. We can either take one of these small segments and extend it. It's one option. Or just delete the little segments and just draw one long visible object line. All right, so it looks like we have our front and side view complete. And now we can focus on the top view. Let's double check, make sure we didn't miss anything. Okay, looks like we got the side view and front view complete. Oh, we're missing the tapped hole. We'll come back and fix that. Let's first draw the top view. Okay, so let's go ahead and create our top view, and then we'll do the dimension. Okay, I'm going to cheat and use the side view. I'm going to make a copy of the side view. Copy. Copy it off to the side. Okay. So I click to make the copy. I only need one, so hit escape when you're done. Then I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees. So this copy, I'm going to select it, rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise. So I'm going to use the rotate. I'll rotate it about its center. I have ortho on, so it's going to rotate with respect to, or I should say it'll go in 90 degree increments because we have ortho on. So I'm going to rotate it 90 degrees counterclockwise, click. Okay, and then I'm going to move it. Let me turn off ortho. And I'm going to use it to help me create my top view. Okay, so we're going to use this to create our top view. Okay, we're going to cheat. All right, so I'm going to start with a rectangle. So the top view is really a simple rectangle. Another rectangle, and a few other rectangles, and a circle. Pretty straightforward. So we're going to use orthographic projection to line it up. All right, so I'm going to use the line command. Okay, I'm going to start off with this quadrant or endpoint here. Click. Let me turn on ortho. Then I'm going to track the edge here, the side here. So I want to make sure I'm in line. As you can see, I'm in line with the side of the front view. And we know this is 50. So I'm going to go downward 50. That's the diameter of the boss, 50. Enter. I'm going to track this side. Click. So you can see it lines up with that side. And let's close it off. Come back and fix this. Okay, hit escape. All right, so let me use the grips now to fix this box here. Okay, hit escape to exit. There it is. There's our top view. So I cheated by using this temporary rotated side view. Okay, so now let's go ahead and throw in a green center line because we're going to be needing this green center line. Center line. It's going to go off of this one. Okay, hit escape. Okay, so if we go back to our view here. Okay, so we have this line that lines up with this wall. Same thing with this one. Then we're going to come in and do our fillets. And the fillets are radius of 3. And we can also mirror to save time. Oh, I'm in the wrong layer. Hit escape. Visible layer. Line command. Hit escape. Line command. I'm having trouble snapping, so I'll overshoot. Hit escape and use the grips to change the length. Notice I have the green X showing up. That's the intersection. If you don't see that green X, go to Object Snap and turn on intersection. That's the green X. Okay, hit escape. All right, so now we got to throw in some fillets. All right, so let's start by filleting this side. So fillet, I'm going to go from this one to this one. It's okay, we'll come back and fix that. Let's do all 4 corners. So I'm going to hit spacebar to repeat the same command of fillet. Hit spacebar again on the keyboard. Spacebar. Hit escape. Now you do have the option of not trimming this off, but just to save time, I'm just going to go ahead and extend it. Okay, hit escape, and I'm going to do the same thing over again on this side. So I'm going to use fillet again. Spacebar on the keyboard to repeat the same command. Spacebar again. Spacebar. All right, now let's go ahead and extend these lines. Hit escape. Use the grips to extend them. Oh, misclicked. Hit escape. There it is. We're almost there. Okay, now we do have some hidden lines. That's from the holes and the shaft. Okay, so this hidden circle is the shaft. Okay, so we need a red hidden circle here. Then we have these hidden lines representing the holes, right? So same hole you see here, you're going to see it here and here for this one. And then we'll come in and do our tapped hole. Okay, so let's do some red hidden lines. Okay, to cheat, instead of having to draw these red hidden lines, I'm just going to make copies of the ones down here. So I'm going to cheat, make copies of the red hidden lines here. Use copy. I'll pick the intersection point between the green center line and the object line, click, and select the intersection between the green center line and object line, click, and you can keep on clicking and make more copies. I'm done, hit escape. That's how easy it was to redraw those red hidden lines. Now I do need a green center line, a vertical one. Let's go to green center layer. Okay, hit escape. All right, so now we need our red hidden circle. And don't forget the shaft has a diameter of 30. So let's go to red hidden layer, circle, right at the intersection point. And we're going to use a diameter of 30. That's the size of the shaft. 30 millimeter diameter, 30 millimeters. Whoa, typed in, did I type in the right number? Thirty, let's see. For some reason it doesn't look right. Let me take a quick measurement. I don't know if I typed in the wrong number. I'm going to zoom in. Oh, I typed in 39. Ooh, dimensions are coming out very tiny. Come back and fix that when we do our dimensions. Okay, so let me redraw the circle. Delete. Let's go circle again. And again, I mistyped. I typed in 39 the first time. It's 30. Oh, let me click diameter first. Forgot to click diameter. Type in 30. And enter. Okay, that looks better. And we also have a red hidden line here from this wall. Okay, so from this wall we can't see it, so we got to draw a red hidden line here. Okay, so from this wall here, okay, hit escape. There it is, same thing on the opposite side. I could have used mirror, save some time. Hit escape. And use the grips to fix the length. Okay, hit escape, and we're almost there. Last thing we need is the tapped hole. Okay, we're done with this side view here, so I'm going to go ahead and just delete this. I'm going to select this and hit delete button on the keyboard, or use the number 2 pencil eraser. There it is. All right, so we do have a tapped hole here where the set screw goes in. Okay, so let's zoom in. Okay, so we're going to draw a 8mm diameter. So M is for metric. So anytime you see M8 or M number, right away should tell you that. We have a tapped hole using millimeters. So this is an 8mm diameter, and the threads are 1.25 millimeters apart. That's also referred as the pitch. Okay, distance between the threads. Okay, so we're going to draw an 8mm circle. All right, so let's go to the visible layer, circle, and it's going to be centered. It's going to be right smack in the middle. Let me double check that dimension. Oh, my mistake, it's 85. So it actually lines up with our wall. With this wall here, the hole, I thought the hole was in the middle. It's actually off to the left, which happens to line up with the red hidden line. Okay, so go circle command. And at that intersection, we're going to draw a diameter of 8. Okay, technically this, if we were to draw it per the standards, we would draw this as a red hidden circle and then draw a smaller circle for the minor diameter. Let me turn off object snap. So the correct way of doing this would be that the 8mm diameter circle would be a hidden, our major diameter, escape, and this would be our minor diameter. But if you zoom out, it's going to look like they're overlapping. So I can tell you that over 90% of the time, just so it doesn't look overcrowded, you'll just draw one circle. Okay, so we'll get rid of the small diameter circle. Keep the 8mm, the major diameter circle, and you're going to draw it as a visible object line. Okay, now we're going to have our hidden lines to represent that tapped hole in the front view. Let me turn on object snap. So from the left quadrant, and it goes up to the hole. I'll come back and fix it. So there it is. I overextended. I'll come back and fix that. Now let's go to the right quadrant. Do the same thing. And click and escape. Okay, let's go ahead and fix the lengths here. Now, for a tapped hole, again, a hole with threads, you would draw a double line. 2 red hidden lines, a double line. But again, once you zoom out, it's going to be hard to tell that there's 2 lines. So we just can get away with just drawing 1 set of lines and not 2. Okay, hit escape. Okay, so once again, the correct way would be to also draw the minor diameter, red hidden lines for the minor diameter thread, and this is the major. Okay, but we'll just draw 1 set just so it doesn't look overcrowded. Okay, so it looks like we have all our lines. Oh, I'm missing a green center line for the axis here. And then we'll go over to dimensions. Let me track it from the top here. Okay, so now we can go ahead and throw in our dimensions. Let me take this green center line, make it a little bit shorter. So we can have some room for dimensions. Oh, actually, we are going to dimension off of this green center line, so I have to extend it, go back and extend it. We're going to dimension off of this green center line. All right, so let's go ahead and take a look at our dimensions. This is what it should look like once we're done. Okay, let's start with the dimensions on the top. Okay, let's throw in this 85, 25, 25. Notice they didn't use the symmetry symbol. We could have left out one of the 25s and assume symmetry. So we're allowed to assume symmetry here. The author decided to throw in the dimensions on both sides of the line of symmetry. All right, so let's go with 85, 25, 25. Let's go to the dimensions layer and let's throw in some dimensions. Okay, so linear dimension. You can also go to the annotate tab where you have more options. Okay, so let's go to linear. And we're going to go from this center line to the center of the hole. And there's our dimension. As you can see, it's very tiny. You can see it's correct, 85. Let's go ahead and position it. Okay, so obviously this is way too small. The arrowheads are way too tiny. The gaps are too small. The extension lines are too small. So we're going to go to Tools, Dimension Style Manager. So we need to go over to the Annotate tab, Annotate. And this is the Dimensions panel. So we click on this little arrow here, and that'll take us to Dimension Style Manager. Give it a few seconds to load. Okay, so we're going to modify it. And anytime you need to change the size of the arrowheads or text, go to the Fit tab. Don't change the text height. Don't change the arrowhead size. In the tabs here, just go to Fit, and Fit will allow you to change everything in one shot. So go to the Fit tab. Go to Overall Scale. Let me see what happens when I go 10 times. So instead of a scale of 1, I'll use 10. Hit OK. And close. And that's better. Let me go with 20. That's a little too small. Maybe I'll go with 25. Okay, let's go back to Dimension Style Manager. Standard. Modify. Go back to Fit tab. Overall Scale. So this will change the size of the arrowheads, text, gaps, extensions, all in one shot. So instead of 10, I'll go with 25. See what it looks like. Okay. And close. Okay, that's better. And there's too many decimal places, so I'll have to go back and fix that. Let me go ahead and throw in the other dimensions first. Okay, linear dimension. We can actually dimension from the endpoint of the center line also to the tangent point. Let me see, right click, vertical, there it is. Hit escape, all right. And we need our thread callout of M8 by 125. Okay, so I'm going to keep it simple. I'm going to do a diameter. And I'm just going to overwrite the diameter. I'm going to go with diameter. By doing that, that arrowhead will always be pointing towards the center. That's the reason I'm going to do a diameter, not just overwrite it. Okay, so the arrowhead is always pointing towards the center. I'm going to overwrite it by double-clicking. Double-click on the text. Give it a few seconds. There it is. Click inside and it'll turn blue. Right now it's purple. I'm going to click inside. It turns blue, so it's going to overwrite everything inside. So let's go with capital M. 8, that's the diameter in millimeters. Space, capital X, space, 1.25. And click outside to exit. Okay, so let me double check that I got the right thread callout. Yes, so 8 is the diameter and 1.25 is the distance between the threads in millimeters, otherwise known as the pitch. All right, so let's go back. Okay, so we have too many decimal places. Let me hit escape to exit, whatever command I was in right now. Let's go back to Dimension Style Manager. We're going to modify once again. We're going to go to primary units, and to change the number of decimal places, we're going to go to precision and just go to 0 decimal places. You'll see it'll update on the preview. Okay, and close. There it is. Okay, so let's do the dimensions in the front view. Okay, so we have the 100, 85, 65, and we have the diameter of 50. Okay, so we have two bosses, diameter of 50. Okay, so let's go with our linear dimension. Go from here to here. That's 100. Another linear dimension from here to here, 85. Okay, if you want, you can go ahead and do the ones on the left. I'm going to leave them out. Now I'm going to leave out this one also up here. You can leave them in if you like. I'm just going to assume symmetry. Okay, so we need this diameter. So we're going to go with linear again. Okay, so we need to include 2x because there's two bosses and the diameter symbol. So we're going to double click. Okay, we're going to type in 2 capital X space and diameter symbol. There it is, and click in space to exit. And let's go ahead and hit escape to exit. And let me use the grips to move it inward a little bit. Hit escape to deselect. All right, and we also have the dimension of 20 here. Okay, and we have the diameter of 30. I'm going to shorten the green center line. Okay, hit escape to deselect, and we're missing the diameter symbol. Double click on the dimension, go to symbol, drop down, and add diameter. And click in space to exit and hit escape. Okay, I think we have all the dimensions for the front view. Okay, if you want to put these dimensions on the left side, go for it. Oh, we're missing the radii and the 150. Okay, so 150 and the radius at each corner here. Okay, so let's throw in that linear dimension of 150 from the tangent point here to this tangent point. Line it up. Now I'm going to take this 20 and I don't like the position of it, so I'm going to click on it, use the grip to place it inside. And deselect. There it is. Looks cleaner. And let's go ahead and throw in the fillet radius for each corner. So we're going to go to radius. Click the arc. Okay, let's go to radius again for the smaller arc. All right, so let's double click to add the 2x. Double click, type in 2 capital X and space. Click away, do the same thing for the next one. Let me hit escape to exit everything. To deselect, let's double click again now. Type in 2x space, click in space. and hit escape. Now see these little tick marks or center marks, crosshairs? We can remove them if you like. So we can go to Dimension Style Manager. You can leave it the way it is if you like. We're going to go to Modify. Go to Symbols and Arrows. So see here in the preview we have the center mark. You can say none. It'll remove it. Or you can put double lines or extension lines with the mark. I'm going to say none. And it'll remove them from here. In 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, close. And now it just shows them as dots. Okay, so it does show the center with little dots. They're hard to see. Okay, so now let's go over to the side view. Okay, so side view, we have 115 millimeter length here. And we also have the diameter, which has a tolerance of 25 up to 25.052. All right, so let's go and add those dimensions. Okay, so let's go with linear dimension from the center to the tangent point here. There it is. By the way, you can always use the grips to change the length of your extension line, as you can see. You can do that. Okay, so now we have the hole, diameter of the hole. Okay, and we're going to add a tolerance. So first of all, we're going to change it so it has 3 decimal places, and we'll add the 052 on the high end and 0 to the low end. Okay, so we're going to click on it first, and then you can right click and go to precision. We can give it more decimal places. So we're overwriting it. There it is, 3 decimal places. We could have also done it in the properties. So let's change the properties of this dimension so it's different than from the others. This one has a tolerance. The others don't have a tolerance listed, so you would have to look in the title block. At the bottom right corner, we don't have a title block on ours, but if it did, you would look at the bottom right corner in the title block to see what tolerance you would apply to your dimensions. Okay, let's go back to this one. This one has its own tolerance. So first we're going to select the dimension. Then you right click, properties, go all the way down to properties. Okay, and just like Dimension Style Manager, you have the same options here. We're going to go all the way down to tolerance section, go all the way down. Okay, so you can use this sliding bar to go all the way down or roll the wheel. Okay, so we're going to do a tolerance display of limits. There it is. We need to also show a precision. Here's the precision, 3 decimal places. Okay, so there's a precision in the tolerance section and also in the primary units. So even though we had changed it earlier, that was under primary units. Here we had to change it under tolerance precision. All right, so now for the upper, we're going to type in 0.052. And for the lower, we just leave it at 0. Okay, and you can see there it is. We're done. So you hit escape. Double click to do a zoom fit. There it is. Okay, let me make sure we didn't miss anything. If you want to add your note of all rounds are 3 units, go ahead and add that note. This is a very common note on a drawing. This is one of the few times we deviate from using symbols and numbers. This is a very common note you see on a drawing. And this is your third angle projection symbol. The SI means it's metric, in this case millimeters. This you would find, and this you would find in the title block. Okay, it looks like we covered everything. Just double checking. All right, so go ahead and save your file. Save as, and this is problem 18-1 from, even though the this is from chapter 16, threads, the problem is from chapter 18, problem 18-1, and go ahead and save. Okay, end of video.